All right, we're live. Perfect.
Woo.
Do a quick mic check here. I'm gonna pop up the video and share the stream, and we're just gonna get right into it. People can fast forward or catch up, however they wish. Welcome, welcome. Waiting for the YouTube to update. There we go. All right, Perry, talk real quick. Check your mic.
Hello, hello.
Ah, perfect. We are set. All right. Welcome. Let me share this link, and then as soon as I share it, we can get rolling. Tier 4, paste. Gran Turismo chat. GT. I'm pinging the full league.
Do it. It's a big event.
No shame. No shame. All right, we're going to roll right into this. My voice is going to give out 100%. Holy shit. Pop up the standings real quick here. All right, tier 4. All right, welcome everybody. I'm the dude. I'm going to be commentating today. Alongside me, I got.
Perry, I'm joining for some commentary for the first time. Figured I'd give it a shot.
Yeah,
Seems like it'd be a fun time.
a little bit of dual com action here on the Tier 4 race around Sardegna. So, shared the link. We're ready to go. We're going to hop right into it. So, we're starting with a sprint here. Quick review of the spa. By quick look at the standings here, it looks like the win went to SJK Racing after Oscar was reported. So SJK comes home with the win. He gets a P1 in Spa. Seacutch goes up to P2, and Oscar drops to P3. Stio P4, and Otto rounds out the top five there. Going into the sprint race, Seacutch is leading the championship by 3 points over Jordy. So the RX Vision is leading over the Supra. And in third, we have JMS at 47, 12 points back of P2, 15 back of the leader. And then Pyro's 1 point behind him. And that rounds out the top four. And SJK is in P5, 3 points behind Pyro. So that rounds out the top five for Tier 4. And for constructors right now, the BMW is with 93 points in P1. Mazda is with 79 in P2. And then the next two closest teams, the AMG Mercedes team is 66. And then the Jags are in P4 with 64. And then Supra's right behind them with 60. So BMW slowly running away with it, but still lots of time for them to come back here.
Let's go ahead and look through the starting grid order.
All right. On P1 today, we have G Dan, who qualified first. So good quality for him in the FT1. Yes, FT1.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar, P2 in the BRZ. Cunning Fern in the AMG. Seacuch, P4. Pyro, P5. Steo fan. Also shout out to Steo for sharing the sprint feature in the AMG 20 as well. Then we got Amy in the Lexus. We got GMS, the other BMW. So Pyro's out qualified JMS. Jordy in the Supra. Jezza in the other RX Vision. O'Leary in the UPS Jag. Gunmad, so his teammates on pole. Gunmad's down on P12. Otto, P13. So tough qualifying for Otto. We'll look to see him make his way through the field. Ruffles, I think a new driver to this tier in the
Sounds
Atenza.
new.
Vidvir in the Beetle. Let's go.
Love the Beetle.
Let's go, Beetle. And then SJK, who actually received a penalty for waiting at the end of the sprint race, I believe is scheduled to start at the back of the field for both the sprint and feature this week, as he was given a penalty for purposely waiting at the end of the sprint on Spa. Guardrail Lover also received the penalty but didn't attend this week, so his penalty will carry over to next week. But we're going to get rolling here. So 5 lights, and away we go. Starting race 3, sprint at Sardegna.
A little slow off the line from G-Dan there. Looks like Oscar's going to take the lead down into turn 1 with Cunningford coming up right on the outside. They might go 3 wide into turn 1. Seems like they've sorted themselves out with just a little bit of contact. So far,
we got a couple guys off here.
What's happened here?
So we're going to take a quick rewind, as we always do. I always kind of like to see how they get hit off, what's happened. So I think Cunningford and G-Dan both went off. Looks like Cunningford breaks a little bit late, pushes G-Dan off. So he's the first one off, and then Cunningford just kind of goes, I'll join you.
Respect to that. Let him have the position back. That's a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah. Never like to smack someone in the rear on lap 1, but oh my god, we got more contact and smoke up ahead, so let's kind of rejoin with that. We'll go on board with the bug here.
A little unstable from the grass, gets bumped on the back by Otto. Otto looks like he's taking the outside line, but they all seem to more or less get through it okay. Rubbing is racing. As long as everybody stays on the track.
And these first few corners were real tough to navigate here, so I'm sure a couple laps in we'll see some of this grid spread out, but right now the first lap is about survival.
All on top of each other.
Yeah. So as we see the race progress here, the pace should probably spread out this field as all the cars come down in through the uphill section in the banked left.
This first lap is very crucial for Amy here behind the Mazda. The Mazda does have better tires than the Lexus, so if she's going to get by it, especially in this sprint, now is the time to do it.
Yeah, not a great track for overtakes as well, so you really have to be patient. And really, other than this turn 1, making a move anywhere else can be fairly dangerous. And it's going to take a lot of on-track respect in order to get those moves done. So Oscar with a pretty comfortable lead right now, P1. He's being pressured by Stio. We got Amy here, slightly losing the back of Stio, as Seacuch is moving on her.
And the
Pyro.
AMG 20, not one to really be affected by this latest update, but Pyro is still holding on to the top 5 very closely with his teammate, getting a little out of sorts behind him.
Yeah, and JMS massively benefit from that cluster in turn 1 there, as he's up into P6. With an underwhelming quali from him, I'm sure he's going to be looking to move forward through the field.
He was putting up some pretty good times in practice races this week, so I hope this turns out well for him.
Go on board with the bug here as this grid goes through
Mr.
one of the more
Pigballs
technical
Vidveer
sections.
himself.
We're waiting to see if we can find any battles. Here we go. Jezza on O'Leary. Jezza got the inside line.
No, backs
out. Wise move
Smart
from Jezza there.
Take the slip on the straight.
Yep, take the slip on the straight.
This
Make
was
sure you can
post
save your race.
post update. Correct. So the Jag did have a little bit of help here as Pyro does a little lawn mowing.
So what's happened to Pyro here? Pyro has more
breaks
speed,
late.
trying to go around the outside. Just a tough
a
place
little
for two
contact.
cars to go side by side.
Did Seacuch push him off a little bit there?
So Seacuch gives him enough room, just barely enough room. Seacuch is on the inside. I think Pyro just loses it. I think Pyro just loses it there. That's unfortunate for Pyro. He's making a nice move, and he just gets a little bit of a snap on that grass, and he's going to lose out massively from that.
The BMW is one car that does not like early throttle application, so I can imagine on grass it's an even worse place to be, especially in that car.
And Amy's picked up a half-second penalty. Oh, Gunmad's off. Okay,
Ooh.
what's happened here? We'll go on board with Gunmad here. So down in the turn 1, huge overtaking zone.
Oh, way too late on the brakes.
Oh, but he sticks it though.
Oh,
JMS with
they've
a
got a
little spin.
headwind.
Oh. Let's watch that one back here. Give me a sec. The JMS actually nails this beautifully. He's trying to follow JMS through as he holds up Seacuch. And right here, Seacuch is turning right. He's moving right to try and close the door on Gunmat. He's got to leave him this space here.
I don't know.
He
It looked like he
rides
might
him
have been trying to
right.
avoid JMS.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantee that he ghosts there. The ghosting is just, it can be really inconsistent at times, so you always have to assume that they won't be ghosted when you're going to be in their path.
So a bit of a tough situation, but
He doesn't,
even
he has
still,
no choice here.
Even still, he's moving right and he just pinches off Gunmad. Even if it's an accidental contact, if he pushes him off, I think he should try and wait there.
Yeah.
So again, a little bit of an unfortunate incident. Like, I haven't seen any stewards reports from this race, so don't know what has and hasn't been reported to the stewards. But Oscar goes purple in the first sector here, as he is extending that on Steo.
Yeah, that only seems to be about, I wouldn't say more than a second of a gap. Definitely still within slip range, but the BRZ is just so good through the corners that he might be able to make up all that time on the second and third sectors, whereas that AMG, I think, might reel him in on the home straight.
Yeah, AMG receiving a little bit of a buff. I believe it added some horsepower and added a little bit of weight. So AMG maybe getting a nice trade-off, because we all know the AMG always struggled with some beans there on the top end. So definitely, I think, a welcome change for that car. So Vidveer's picked up a half-second penalty. He'll lose position here to Gunmad, and maybe JMS gets a run on him in the turn 1. We'll see how this works.
I think he is. I think he's going to get by him. Yeah, on the
gets
straight.
by him easily. So easily gets by him. Ruffles is holding out P12. Cunning P13. Otto stuck down to P14.
Not great with Amy up in third.
Kelly just way back here. And Gunmad, after a couple bumps and bruises, Fat Band style, is in P16.
Now the FT1 might be able to make up that time. It's decent on the straights.
It's got a long way to go to catch up to this train, and this train is just going to keep chugging. Oscar with a 19.9 last lap, just sub 20. Target time for this tier, I think, should be in the mid to high 19s. As you can see, Steo with a 19.7. Oscar has a little bit of oversteer there, and that's going to bring Steo into range. See if we can find any other battles here.
How are their tires? Let's compare BRZ.
It's still early. Lap 4. I don't think tires will be too much of a factor yet. But I do know Oscar is known to chew through tires. And I don't know, with the newest update to this AMG, how their tires hold up.
The BRZ had good tires in the first place.
Yeah, AMG always did have some good tires. And again, everyone just kind of single fire here. Nothing too crazy going on.
And that last corner is a very awkward one. It's one that you just have to have faith in the car that it's going to grip up.
Here's a battle. So Jezza in the slip of Jordy in front. Gets on the brakes nicely. Gets it slowed down in time. Completes the move on O'Leary, and that's some great driving there.
Yeah, it's been good so far down into turn 1. I've been a little afraid that people might forget that in the slip you might gain 5, 10, 15 miles an hour. So you can't have that same braking point if you're in someone's slip.
Jordy goes
especially
defensive
with the headwind.
Into the banking.
Around the outside.
Tough space to go around the outside, as that downhill section is deadly. There's not much curb.
Seacuch might try and back up Jordy if things get a little too close.
Jordy with a little bit of an oversteer, and Jezza right on his bumper here. In the words of Iggy, he's just sniffing his bumper. Both nostrils right now. And O'Leary is back in the fight. And we'll get to see the straight line speed of that Jag on display here. Jag versus RX Vision versus Supra, and we know even with that horsepower nerf, that Supra is a force on the straights. And look at that Jag go as he's by him in the turn.
Jezza should have been a little bit more defensive of that slip behind Jordy. He did retain the inside line, but O'Leary was able to get into the slip of the Supra.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a miscalculation there from Jezza, and O'Leary takes that position with ease. That's a great move from O'Leary there. And now Jezza has fallen back into the reaches of Pyro. So we're going to see if Pyro here can make a move. But in the meantime, we'll take a quick scroll through here, see if there's any other close battles here. Ruffles on Cunning, we might come back to that in a sec. So Ruffles on Cunning is the closest on-track battle right now. Cunning.
The Supra's tires did not look the best whenever you were scrolling through them, as far as out of all the other cars. Let's see, where are they at in the
So lap 6 right now. No doubt within the next 2 laps, I say, we'll start to see those who struggle with tires. That it's really going to start to shake up the mix here. Oh, and Ruffles just goes wide. Maybe a little bit of dirty air. Maybe just trying to push the car too hard. He rejoins the track. Ooh, rejoins in front of S. Kelly. Upsets his car, so a little bit of a tough one there for Ruffles.
You got to be careful about those rejoins. Even if it's, you know, you assume your car is going to be ghosted, it's better to wait until everybody is safely passed before you join back on the track so you avoid moments like that.
Yeah, especially when you go off to the left there. With the racing line being right on that curb, if you rejoin onto that curb and you unghost, someone's not going to have enough time to react. As now S. Kelly is going to have a run. He pulls alongside again, showing the straight line speed of the Jag. He's going to take the outside line. Oh, and Ruffles is just going to fall in behind him.
That's not quite the bad idea.
Yeah. Battling on this track.
Ooh,
loses
Steel Fan's tires
so
do not
much time.
look great compared to those around him.
So,
and Amy's got better tires, and she's still definitely within view of them.
lots still could happen here in this sprint race. O'Leary looking to push, see if he can catch back up to Jordy. Maybe had a small moment as Jordy's extended that gap on him, and Jezza now coming back at him. So we'll see how this goes onto the straight.
It does seem like the Jag has received a beneficial buff this update. Ooh, pushing him out of the way. That might have been a little unnecessary. Let's look at that.
Take a look here. So Jezza has a little bit of a run at him, but he has to make sure that he doesn't make... He lets off nicely there. Lets off. Oh, but he just gets caught out by O'Leary's braking. But again,
It
for
seems like they
Jezza
both
here,
braked a little deep there.
for Jezza being the car behind at this point, he's got to make sure he lets off. He does the right thing, but he's got to make sure that he doesn't make contact with O'Leary.
You can't overtake there.
Yeah, I think
It's just too
if there
clumsy
is
of
a
a corner
contact,
to try it.
if he does make contact there, he should let off and let O'Leary by here, as you have to make sure that you're overtaking safely.
It is on the attacking car to make sure that that happens without contact.
And O'Leary might
that's
lose
just
out
one
massively
spot.
now as Pyro pulls alongside, and O'Leary's going to fall in behind Pyro. So that move loses O'Leary 2 positions. So that's disappointing there. Again, really close racing. There's not many spots to overtake, but if you go for a move like that and it doesn't pay off, you got to make sure you do what you can to say, hey, that's my bad, I went for it, and it didn't work out. JMS down in the 9th. Vidveer, P10 auto right on the bumper of him. We'll stay with this for a second here.
Little bit of grass for Otto.
Little bit of grass for Otto there. Get some dirt on his tires with the banking. So that'll allow the Beetle to pull away here. Let's check back in with our leaders, see if anything has really changed. Here's Oscar. Oh, and he's extended that gap onto the AMG.
But this is definitely a track where a single underestimation or miscalculation on braking point with tires deteriorating, it can change in an instant.
Exactly. With there being so many gravel pits and so many places to go off, like you say, missing one braking point and you're in a gravel pit, and you know that's 5, 10, 15 if you're waiting to rejoin. It can really, you know, that's the end of your race.
you don't even have to fully miss your braking point on turn one. You can just dip a tire into the gravel and you're off. You can, touch some grass through turn, let's see, what would be 4 or 5 somewhere, and just little stuff like that. This track will penalize mistakes pretty brutally.
Not too many on-track battles right now, so we're going to stick with this group of 3 here, because I think these are the 3 closest cars. Lap 9, Pyro struggling with the tires. Jezza definitely with the advantage here.
The
O'Leary
Mazda
and
does
Pyro
have pretty
about on
good
the same
tires.
page. And Pyro maybe a little mistake. And the RX Vision's going to pull alongside coming into the chicane here. Not chicane, sorry. The 90-degree right. Jezza on the inside. He's going to get that done easily. Pyro falls in behind. Try and get the run on. It just goes into the back of him there. But no harm, no foul. Jezza goes a little bit deep. That might let Pyro come back. No. As Jezza's going to take that position there.
Oh, Pyro's coming back at him a little bit.
Pyro's coming back again.
Corner.
Oh, Pyro looked like he was going to stick the nose in, but wisely backs out. Good call from Pyro there, knowing you have a straight. So let's go on board with Pyro here.
Not one to shy away from straight line speed, so he's definitely in the, one of his tool bags to be able to take him on the straight.
And just Jezza leaves the inside wide open for Pyro here. And Pyro's going to get that move done with ease.
Yeah, this is not a corner where you can really commit to a switchback here because of the angle that you have to take being greater than 90 or shallower than 90 degrees. The switchback is just really not an option there. So that inside is paramount to defend.
So Pyro's up into P6. So he's having a good time right now. Happy days for Pyro.
Fairly consistent time-wise too, mostly between a second except for that last lap where there was some battling.
So we'll wait to see this 90-degree right-hander here, see if Jezza goes for a move. Jezza's wisely going to stick behind Pyro, and we'll quickly see if there's any other battles here. Oh!
Whoa!
What's happened to Vid here? Oh! And just like we said, you dip one tire.
Mm-hmm.
And
thank God he ghosted.
Yeah, just a quick note to Vidveer here. If you can, after going off like that, make your car as predictable as possible. If you can get off the racing line, get off the racing line. I would have said to Vidveer there, after spinning, stay to the right.
Mm-hmm.
He moves back left into the racing line, and this could have been a horrific collision here with Otto.
Oh,
luckily, he ghosts. But yeah, definitely
you can't rely on that.
Exactly.
You can't rely on ghosting. That just happens. We have, as drivers, have zero control over when that happens, and there's a lot of people saying that we should remove it or turn it up a little bit. But that stuff is just luck of the draw sometimes.
We'll scroll back through here. Oscar with a 120.7 that lap. Stio not losing about a tenth there on Oscar, as his tires are cooked. So really, with their tires like this at this point, this race is an absolute free-for-all. Who doesn't make a mistake?
Yeah, and as the race goes on, you can see more and more marbles forming offline. So attacking offline with dead tires in these last lap or two really is going to be even more of a risk. You're going to have less and less grip offline.
Seacoach might be in a battle for P2, maybe in P1 here. Look at his tires, and he does a 120.1 last lap. He is flying at the end of this race.
I have always been a very big fan of the Mazda. It is one of those just all-around cars that seems to be a jack of all trades and just king of some tracks. It is rapid and good on its tires.
Pyro still managing to hold off Jezza, and we will revisit this one in a little bit. But right now, we have to keep our eyes on the front of this pack, as they got 4 cars in a row here.
This is for 10th place. This is a
trying
single
to make
point
a move
in the
here.
sprint.
Yeah. So right now, Otto's holding on to the last sprint point. Cunning goes down the inside. Oh, misses his braking point. And let's take a look at this here, because this is exactly what you need to do when you miss your braking point. Cunning, clearly, he's racing hard, realizes he misses his braking point, doesn't go into Otto, steers through the gap, and puts his car into the gravel.
That's the responsible thing to do.
Underrated move from Cunning. Love to see this. It sucks when it happens, but he made sure he did what he could to make sure he didn't ruin anyone else's race. So props to Cunning on that. I know it
Yeah,
sucks, but honestly, when you do the right thing, you should be commended. So props to you, Cunning.
I've made that exact mistake. I did the opposite of what Cunning did in that. I've done that before, so it's definitely one to learn from. Do not take out other people just because you brake too late. Ooh,
Seakuch
Seacuch gets buys on the
squeezes
inside.
down the inside. Let's see
You were
if he
right.
sticks it.
Yeah, he's in the fight for P2 here as he takes it out of turn 1, and P1 is not out of sight for him.
And just Stio punching the air right now as his just
Nothing he
front
can
right
do.
is screaming.
With an FR car, the front's dying on you is understeer hell. You cannot recover from that in a sprint, especially.
So it looks like some of these guys aren't going to get the last lap, so we'll review this as they cross the line. Pyro looks like he's going to hold off Jezza. Easy peasy.
Just get it through the last lap, bring it home.
Yeah, takes a good last corner here.
Textbook.
Jezza's going to come P7. O'Leary P8. JMS is going to come 9th. And it looks like Otto here is going to hold on to the last point in the sprint.
Pretty good result for Team BMW. 2 double points, or at least a double point in the sprint. See if they can. They're mid-pack, so that's not the worst for the feature starting order for them.
So Vidvir kind of with a good recovery drive there. Didn't qualify the best, but he moves up into the points. Or not Vidvir, rather. Sorry, Otto. So good race from Otto.
I'm
to
surprised
move up at least into
Oscar's
the points.
tire is the front right is just dead on the BRZ. The BRZ used to be good on its tires before the update, but that may have changed.
I think this is more just Oscar being an absolute tire shredder. My experience racing against him in S8, he used to chew through the tires like crazy. So
That's saying
part
a lot
of being
on
on
the BRZ.
controller, unfortunately.
Man, if Seacoach had one more lap, I think he would have been able to take P1, but it looks like Oscar's going to hold on to it as he's coming through the last little chicane here. Yep,
Yeah,
he's got just enough of a buffer. One more lap and Seacoach would have had it.
I think so as well. Oscar's going to cross the line with a 121.5 there. Seakuch still almost a second faster. Stio P3, great race. Amy P4 does a donut at the line, and Jordy in P5.
A little risky there, Amy. Almost didn't finish by the finish at that point.
So much better race from Tier 4 than what I
And
saw
Amy
last time
does
at Spa.
snag fastest lap there too.
Oh, Amy snags fastest lap on the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So that's the sprint race. Uh, much better than the Spa sprint. Um, we'll see how this feature race fares because I've heard some things.
I'll have you.
I've heard some things. I haven't seen some things. So, um, yeah, I'll leave it at that, and hopefully we can find everything. Just reading through the comments now. Sorry, I didn't have my phone up there. Hello, Martin, who I believe is Brain
Canada.
Fart. Kanata, yes, thank you. Viking, welcome. Amy, welcome. Lord Hands, as always, welcome. Viking says, most normal pyro moment. Martin says, good on corners. Amy says, Oscar was really fast this race. Skin says, no way. Is that tier 2 race winner the dude 360?
Indeed it is. Yeah, you got your first race win yesterday since, what was it, season 8?
You know what? I don't want to talk too much about
Boost
myself.
yourself a little bit. We're between races.
I mean, you know what? I'm happy. I did it in the car that I love probably the most.
In the Viper.
In the Viper. In your
It was
livery.
quite a good livery, yes.
So we'll take a...
Oh,
what's going on here? Okay.
Did they have some sort of error that they needed to restart on? Or sometimes this happens and they just have to... Oh, this is weird.
Okay, we're definitely having some sort of weird issue here. Regardless, it looks like Gunmad is starting P1, even though it says P2. I'm going to close and open that maybe. Or maybe their lobby just had another fart. Weird. Anywho, on to the feature race. Should be 30 laps. Maybe 29. We'll see. Depending on the pace. But okay, now it's fixed. So we got Cunningfern in P1. So he reverse grid pulls it after going off in that mistake he makes in the chicane. Gunmad He's going to start P2 after he got banged up a little bit. Ruffles. Oh, his livery loaded this time. He must have
There we
not
go.
had a livery in the last race.
I like that car in blue.
I do like the look of this car. The car looks great. I like that livery. Vidveer. Is that the Herbie? Is that a Herbie
That is the
livery I'm
Herbie.
seeing? Let's go with a NASCAR on there. Uh, Auto. Or sorry, Vidveer, GDan, Auto, JMS. I know JMS made a slight little change to his. I like that blue color on the back of his car, actually.
He does have a habit of changing his livery every race. So every race is a special livery with JMS.
Oops, decal not found. I like that 404 text. It's a little.
Hmm.
O'Leary P8, Jezza, P9, Pyro, P10, Jordy. And let's quickly go through their tires as well. So Cunning's going to go on the mediums in P1. Mediums for everyone so far. Anyone starting on the softs? No. So
No,
the entire grid on medium here. So we're just going to have a straight pace race here for a little bit. But let's not wait any longer. Let's get this rolling.
still a little confused by what's going on here with this blue flag stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes this happens.
yeah, this is strange. Maybe once there's an on track.
There it is.
There we go.
One,
So
two,
it's
three.
adjusted now.
Okay.
So through turn one, let's make sure there's no shenanigizing here. Let's take on board with maybe someone in the midfield here. I know this corner was chaotic in tier 2. So Jezza makes a move on Jordy, I think, or defends on Jordy. Either way, they are clean through the first corner. Thank goodness.
Oh, might have a little side by side into the first. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
They managed to behave themselves here.
So Jordy gets by Jezza here. As the
Turn
straight line
5,
speed of that
all
Supra
right hand.
probably got him within range off that rolling start. That car is just a rocket ship. And this
Some
is the
cars don't have
danger.
better starts in the feature.
Lap 1 coming into the 90-degree uphill right-hander. Everyone's single file through so far.
Tires are still relatively cold here.
Oh, and what a move from Stio! Let's go back here. I want to take a look at this one. As Stio... Oh, what a
Jezza
beautiful
just
move.
goes wide.
Jezza goes slightly wide, and Stio just recognizes immediately and gets his car up in the space.
But it's not over yet.
It's not over. Jezza gets alongside. Oh,
Backs
switchback!
out.
Oh my goodness, what a move!
What racing? Oh my goodness. On lap 1, they're giving us a treat. That was a great move by Stio.
And Oscar's kind of taking advantage of the battling in front. And he's going
Already
to bump
moving
draft
up a
to
few
try and get
places.
himself past Amy here. That's a smart move from Oscar. Let's go on board with him. Gonna have
Is he
three
gonna get
cars
2 and
battling
1
for
here?
position in the turn 1. Oscar's going to try and peek down the inside.
Nope. Oh, did Jezza go off?
Nope, we're
No,
all
he
good
didn't.
here.
He stayed on.
So again, a crazy battle at the back of the pack right now. Hopefully I'm not missing too much up at the front. We'll check back in up there in a second.
Oh man, as the two Mazdas find themselves together on track, seems like they're both just unable to get past this combo of Amy and Kelly, taking up the whole width of the track. I say that
Stay
as
with
Kelly
Oscar
lets by.
into the 90-degree here, and then we're going to
Jezza.
revisit the top. Oh, 3 wide back. Oh!
Oh!
And I looked back just in time here. Okay, let's go on board with C-Coach. He might get a good view of all this from the very back here.
Oh, dirty tires, that's not a great start. On
Jezza.
mediums.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
C-Coach gets a little bit of a run.
Oh, what happened?
Oh.
Was that just Jezza going off on his own? Did he get
Yeah,
scared
I
out
think
of that?
so.
or-
I think so. I think that maybe...
So Kelly's going to come on his right here, but
Oh, he
he
just
just-
missed. Just a slight miscalculation. That's unfortunate.
the car had more grip than he thought it would, I guess.
Yeah, and he just hits the curb and flies across and into the barrier. Good thing
That
Sonic
is-
King wasn't there, or he might have thrown a temper tantrum.
It's strange that you see that though. You normally see that after drivers switch from their medium stint onto their softs, where the car has more grip, and you see a lot of guys that just don't push fast enough. But it seemed that the car was willing to offer more than he thought it would.
So let's go back with the midfield now. We rewinded a little bit because we potentially missed some battles up front here. As you can see, a big gaggle of cars stuck together here. As they're bumper to bumper.
Here. With a little smoke and contact. What happened to Vidveer there?
Back that up. Take a quick peek. On board with Herbie the Love Bug. Let's go with Ruffles here in the Atenza.
Oh, a little ping pong moment there. That is not on Ruffles. That's on GDan.
With all three of them following just a tiny bit.
You've got to brake early.
Yeah, you gotta let off and brake. GDan is full throttle. They're all gumming. Yeah, bad luck. So Ruffles has already let off here, and GDan gives him a slight nudge, which sends him into the back of Vidveer, and he goes wide off track, and he's gonna lose two positions.
2 spots.
And huge momentum.
3.
He's gonna lose. Ooh. Goes to move left, realizes Otto is there, quickly recognizes and recovers. So good on Vidveer there. Again, that's unfortunate.
Both spots on this one straight because of the little, I'd say, beyond argy-bargy. You got to recognize that, especially the more cars you have in front of you, the earlier you have to brake into a braking zone.
Yeah, again, like we talked about in the sprint, you got to make sure you're not making contact with that car in front. It is your responsibility. He is allowed to brake as long as it's in a predictable manner, which it is coming into a corner like that. It's your job to make sure you don't slam into the back of him. And if you do, like I said, wait up, let him back past. Because now Vidveer is now fighting off Otto as both Ruffles and GDan essentially drive away. So Otto on the preferred line here. Vidveer leaves him just enough space on the outside. Now Otto's going to have the inside line for his next corner.
And this is not one that you can slingshot around, but he is going to go for the switchback, and he
holds
holds it.
Gets a little bit of understeer. That's a great move. And now he's got the inside line.
How stable is this Beetle? That looked like it went well for him.
That's just a great move from Vidveer there. So credit to Vidveer on the switchback. That's a great move. So now this is going to get crazy.
What a train.
So we have a Supra here. We'll go on board with the Supra as he is in Pyro's slip. Surprised to see O'Leary pull to the right, as not only is the Supra the faster car in a straight line, but now he's also got the slip of Pyro. Oh, no, Pyro, no.
What's happened there?
Oh, goodness. Okay, on board with Pyro. He's got no one around him.
Oh, this brake's too late. He's way too late.
3 cars here, and just runs out of space to go. Unfortunate. Just unfortunate there for Pyro. I think he tries to avoid. He goes in the only space that there seems to be.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he gets Otto into the gravel. And because there's so many cars so tight through here, they both
creates a
lose
lot
out
of problems.
massively.
Yep. I think that might be knock-on effects from that incident of just everyone scattering and taking any kind of defensive lines they could.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to make it through. Oscar's carrying a lot of speed. Bumps O'Leary, kind of spins himself a little bit. Steele's got nowhere to go.
Yep. I mean, it's that or off the track. With cars like these on slicks, you can't avoid off track.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Steele, just right in front of him. He spins, and Steele's boxed in. He's got absolute nowhere to go. That's tough.
It even looked like that incident with Pyro at turn 1 hurt JMS a little bit too. It seems like they've kind of detached from the pack in front of them.
Yeah, and as you can see, some gaps now forming. But again, these 5 cars just all so tight together, and this is such a difficult track to overtake, and even just drive close, because you just have to be so aware of all of the other drivers And
Ooh,
oh,
that is
Pyro!
not where you want to go for that.
I don't know Pyro meant to go for a move there. I don't think Pyro means to do this. Pyro doesn't take the preferred racing line, so he doesn't get out onto the blue. And as such, when he brakes, he has a little bit of overspeed, and it's a half-hearted move. He half puts his nose in, and he just taps O'Leary. And that's frustrating because although Pyro doesn't take the position, O'Leary loses out to Amy. And that's just unfortunate luck there. So
I think
again,
this is kind of a diet, watered down example of the phrase yellows cause yellows. Like an incident early on in this lap down in turn 1, Pyro mentally might be a little unsettled, frustrated with himself, still dwelling on it, and misses his braking point into there, causes more incidents.
Yeah. So change of the lead happens on lap 3. I think the first change of the lead here as the AMG gets a great exit and takes the inside line again. Driver's giving up the inside. And you know what? He's going to lose 2 positions, I think, because G-Dan on the inside, he loses 2 positions in 1 corner. It's so imperative to take that inside line and hold it for that exact reason right there.
Yeah, it really is one of the only spots that you can cleanly negotiate with another driver for an overtake without any kind of shenanigans going on, and you just can't afford to give that up.
So right now, we got Ruffles just in no man's land a little bit, as he's not quite on the back to join the fight for the top 3, and still out of the range of Vidvir and the other pack as they continue to battle. So we're going to stick... Oh, there's so many battles to choose from. I'm going to try and watch all of them as much as I can. Pop up the comment section here. RDO, welcome. And Stio falling in behind Amy here. And again, we're going to have another situation here. We're coming into this braking zone. We have 4 cars back to back to back.
All seem to go through it relatively okay. Vidvir gets a little bit of a bump again.
I was just about to say that. It's hard to tell if Vidvir gets another little bump. Maybe he's braking a little bit more than everyone else has expected, but again, it is on the car behind to make sure you don't tap him. And I thought JMS was even early on the brakes.
Slowing down. Yep, he gets bumped.
Yeah, he gets a little tap. Vidvir is slowing down to try and get a good exit. And again, that's just bad luck.
I mean, even if he is slowing down too much, that argument can be made. It's still on the driver behind to anticipate someone in front of you making mistakes.
100%.
He does retain the position going into turn 1.
RDO has asked, have I missed all the incidents? We're trying to find them. So far, there's only been a few minor ones. Nothing too crazy yet. As Jordy and JMS go side by side here. Otto trying to follow Jordy through. And now that he's stuck on the outside against JMS here. And I don't think he's going to make this sticker on the outside. Not with the gravel there. Oh,
that was
light touch from JMS. But again,
okay.
Yeah, nothing too much there. They both make it through okay. Again, this GT7, a little bit of netcode, a little bit of... I say avoid contact at all times, but there's some times where, a slight tap is sometimes inevitable, especially coming out of a banked corner there. Oh, and look at the single file there through that. Holy smokes, let's go take a look through this. As these guys are just slammed together. Pyro, not a great exit. He's going to lose a couple positions. Oh, Pyro.
Oh, that was close. That was close with Steel Fan and Amy. That almost ended in heartbreak.
So Pyro's being really cautious. Oh, he just gets backed up by Otto a little bit, and he loses his momentum and loses 2 positions. That's just bad luck for the BMW there. There's nothing he can really do.
Really hard corner to go through. It almost would benefit you more to slow down on the straight prior to that 90-degree right so that you're just not held up on that exit.
Oh,
Steel Fan.
Steel slides off.
Vacation.
goes on a vacation in the grass. He's got dirty tires. That's going to compromise Higgs as an exit onto the straight now. And we see Seacuch. He's going to move. Steelfan wisely protects the inside. The Jag's coming into play, though, now. Let's go on board with him. O'Leary lets off early. Says, I'm just going to watch what these guys do. Pick my spot. Oh, Steel! No.
Now, was that being kind of rushed through the corner a little bit by Seacuch, or was that still the dirty tires?
First watch through, I think Steo just has a little bit of that low gear oversteer from the Mercedes. Let's take a look.
Yep. Oh,
yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
Tire in the gravel.
A little bit of that tire in the gravel, and maybe a slight contact from Seacuch, but his car is already going around. I think Seacuch just gives them the final, like, smell you later here.
Yeah.
But again, he's got nowhere to go. So unfortunate for Seacuch because he loses out to O'Leary, but again, O'Leary kind of sitting back and waiting to see the results pays off for him as he gets 2 free positions. And now Oscar, who spun on lap 2, is rejoining essentially the fight for the top 5. He's got to be within maybe 3 seconds of everyone. And now Vidvier and Otto side by side in the 90 degree. Let's see how this goes.
One you can hold hands through. Let's see if they're not. Neither's backing out. Vidvier might take a little bit more of a shallow line.
And Vidvier does a good job there to try and cut a tight inside line. Ooh, he touches a little bit of the blue there, and it sends him a little bit of a power slide. And that's going to allow Amy for a double overtake now.
Pyro following her through, or at least attempting to.
Pyro on Otto. A little bit of bang in there, a little bit of door banging maybe.
He should get this done on the straight. The Lexus is not known for its straight line speed. It's not terrible, but it's not one of its strengths. Let's see if he'll have enough to do the inside
again,
trick.
No one protecting the inside. Oh, Otto pinches him, but leaves him enough room.
Not enough. You do get one defensive move per interaction. Might have been a little passive there. It's nothing saying you can't cut across. As long as you stick to where you're cutting to, you can move as quickly or as slowly as you like.
I think it might have been too reactionary if he had moved all the way over to cut Pyro off.
Well, I mean more towards the start of the straight.
Oh, yes, 100%. 100% towards the start of the straight. Maybe should have. Oh,
that looked naughty.
Yeah, the first one looked not so bad, but I think the second tap from Oscar there. Let's take a look here. As Oscar is now back in the fight. So Seacuch is on the. They're 3 wide. O'Leary breaks late to get ahead of everyone.
Smart move.
I think Vidvier turns into Seacuch here a little bit. Seacuch is holding his line.
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to go.
That unsettles him, but Oscar here.
Just too much speed through that corner with 2 people fighting in front of you.
Yeah, I think Oscar here has to be a bit more careful not to drive into the back of Vidvier.
Yep, that's
that's
naughty.
A tough one. Yeah, you gotta not drive into the car in front. And I know his momentum was slowed by maybe the first tap from Seacuch, but again, when you see that here, you either have to tighten your line, and Vidvier is trying to close that door again a little bit, but I mean, you drive into the side of him, push him off.
Into
again,
the back
that's
of
a tough
Seacuch too.
Again, I'm not a steward, just kind of calling it how I see it on the first view. And Oscar just continues on, unfortunately. So I don't know if that one's in the stewards, but
it seems like from Ardio's comments in the chat, this is one of the main points of contention.
Oscar says, yeah, or sorry, Ardio says, I'm looking at reports, I think there's some big ones in a couple laps, and he says, here we go. Oscar's flashing his lights, so we're gonna stick with this because I have a feeling this is about to get a little crazy here.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that report that incident with Vidvier going off, that would have been in the steward's word of me.
I think so. It's at least to ask the question. Mm-hmm. And let's go back here. There's contact between Otto and Pyro here, so let's take a look at this one. Oscar's reported 3 times in this lap. Okay, so we found one. We found one. Okay,
we didn't miss me earlier, did we?
Otto up the inside.
Oh. Not
this
the
is an
worst
awkward
move.
one. This is an awkward one because Pyro tries to turn into the apex, but there's There's a car there, Pyro.
Let's look at his turning inputs. He may have just seeded way too much. Let's see what happens.
Otto gets his car
Yep.
alongside, and I think Pyro just doesn't see him in time.
No.
And that's
Which
unfortunate because it just pushes Pyro ever so slightly wide. Again, it's eh. That's the
it's a
exact way to
very
describe
late
it.
move.
Yeah,
You have to.
it's. I mean, Otto gets
If
his car alongside.
he does, but
Right?
if Pyro saw that coming and did not go for the racing line, then that move would have been great. That would have been in the overtake submissions channel. But given
Pyro
that he
leaves
doesn't
the
see
door
him,
absolutely wide open, and Otto
yeah,
says, "Okay." Otto fully commits to the move, so
he
props on
does
Otto here. I mean, it's just
alongside enough, and
unfortunate.
he makes the
Pyro,
corner.
yeah, and Otto has left Pyro enough space to continue a wide line through. So Pyro's just got to try and do better here, I think, to take the outside line, as he loses out now 2 positions because of that.
I know Pyro does race in third person, so do with that what you will. Let's see. I'm trying to. I almost want to go back and watch this whole lap again, just on Oscar, to see if I can find the other 2 reports.
I mean, he's not within range of anyone here. I don't want to rewind too much because I don't want to. We do got to keep this race a moving. He benefits here from the. Yeah, I think the first incident is this one. 'Cause he's not really within range of anyone else.
Yeah. Let's see if he does something to seekers through here. Because 3 incidents in 1 lap is not what you want to be doing. No, nothing crazy. Maybe a little bit of a glove tap there, but no harm, no foul.
So he gets
Inside.
alongside here. Again, not somewhere you really want to stick your nose in. But I mean, he pulls it off.
They manage it.
Yeah, they manage it, and then. Oh.
Not. Well, hold on. Can you back it up a little bit? What was his steering input like there?
He is just like forcing.
Waited way too long.
He's on the inside, and he's just kind of forcing Seacuch to have to go. He doesn't give him any room to make the corner. Basically, he
There's a
basically
difference
cuts him
between,
off.
Like owning the inside of a turn and
Yeah, he
pushing your
doesn't-
opponent to the outside and just not turning. You can't do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one
Seacuch had
there.
to slow down to practically 70 miles an hour for that. That's 30 mph difference.
Oh, and here's the third one.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
number 3. So yeah, there's report. I'll be interested
That's
to see
one.
this one from the stewards. And then I think this one is open closed, kind of like the first one.
The Jag
Oscar has
superior
set.
speed.
So Oscar has set. This is where he is.
Maybe a little bit to pressure the inside, but you
can't just
not enough a car
Oh
split.
man, you just can't do that. You can't pinch him to get him onto the grass. This is your line. You can make he doesn't leave him room. Look at the angle of his car.
No. That's
He makes contact and then he just For me, that's open and closed.
I'd say
You just
so.
can't do that. You have
Especially
to be more
with the
respectful.
contact.
You have to be more respectful for others on track.
And that's something that's going to affect him down into the future as well. The more aggressively and I'm going to pick my line and not give you any inches extra, the more you race like that, the more others are going to respond in turn. So he's not making his future for himself in this league any easier by doing stuff like that.
And let's not forget, this is lap 8. This is lap 8 of a 29 to 30 lap feature.
Yeah, they're a quarter of the way through.
You got to think, why are we not working together to gain positions, to gain time, and get back in reach of packs in front? And understand that there's certain people in championship battles, right? So I think that might be some carryover from Spa. That's a personal opinion. I could be totally wrong.
Oh, did those two go at it in Spa?
Oscar was penalized, and SJK got the win, as Oscar had contact with SJK on the last lap to overtake for the lead. But
Subaru's
enough of that.
Not getting the best reputation in our league.
Yeah, we've all known the Subaru has had its fair share of issues in the past, but I
Driver
won't dwell
mod.
on that. um, we'll take a look through the order here. We'll see if we can find some other battles. He's stuck with that one for a while, but it looks like the top 3 here are a little bit spread out. P1 and P2 are battling. We're still probably about between 5 to 7 laps out from most people's pit window, depending on car.
Now what you said earlier about working together, I think on this lap, or this track, since there is so few overtaking opportunities, if you are separated from a pack, at least a significant points chunk pack, it is better to work together, but not in the case of Cunningfern and G-Dan. G-Dan is going to want to slow Cunningfern down as much as possible to bring Gunmad back into the fight here. So hopefully we can see G-Dan apply a little bit more pressure up at the front at some point soon.
G-Dan just out of range here, that AMG. I think. I don't know if. Yeah, I don't even know if he's in slip. He's just barely in slip if he is.
Their fuel and tires look almost on par.
See if we have anyone with any sort of
Lexus. A little bit more fuel.
So let's see what's happened here. Okay. So did Oscar pass Seacuch? Yes. Here we go. Or Seacuch got by Oscar and vice versa. Let's rewind it one more section here. So Seacuch is in P12 right now. I thought maybe Seacuch was in front, but I must have misremembered.
Oscar goes wide there.
Yeah, bleeds a little bit of speed off, so he goes defensive into the next turn. Takes the inside line.
A little unstable on the exit. And all of these things are adding up just enough for Seacuch to get back into striking range.
And we all know the BRZ struggles with a little bit of acceleration. It had decent top speed.
Nope.
Was that contact or was that Oscar just going wide? I couldn't tell.
It looked like he just went off there.
Yeah, it did look like he just went off. But it looked so strange, I was wondering if there was a contact.
Yep. If you brake too late, and especially if once you brake too late, you hold the brakes on too hard, and then you're understeering.
Yeah,
and that part of the track will slam dunk give you a penalty too.
Yeah, so that's definitely a penalty for Oscar.
If he gets away with it, I'll be very surprised.
He might have let off long enough to not get a penalty.
Just might have.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it looks like he gets away with it. That could have been much worse for him as far as outcome-wise.
Thanks, RDO. Enjoy the game. Welcome, Skittles, as well. As we get a move here. Very nice. Trying to catch as many battles and moves as we can, but there's with it being so tight right now, there's battles all over the track. Vidvir goes defensive.
Here, these guys should a little too defensive with, again, working together on a track like this. You need to kind of have some kind of agreement. Like, neither of us are really getting anything beneficial here.
You're battling for 1 point and 2 points here at the back. Why? Like, you got to remember, P15 gets 1 point, I believe. P14 gets 2. You could be wrong, but either way,
something like that.
There is a significant gap to the cars in front. Like, you can push each other down the straights, and you know, maybe give them a flash so that Vidvir knows not to go defensive, because they're just the more they do this, the further that pack's gonna get.
Yep.
So we'll see if there's
Steel
anything here.
No, that. Can't
again,
do that.
Yeah. Again, another one. Just got to be more conscious of the guy in front. Vidvir's had some horrendous luck here. This is the third time I think I've seen him been hit deep into a corner, and Jessa just drives right into the back of him, and he gets pushed deep. 2 tires on the gravel. That's enough to bleed him. Enough speed for Jessa to drive off into the distance, and now Steel Fan's coming. So frustrating for Vidvir. Dirty tires. He goes wide there a little bit. He's going to have dirty tires again, which means he'll get a bad exit.
Bad exit. Goes off again.
And, oh my gosh. When it rains, it pours, Vidvir.
Big loss. When
it rains, it pours. Feel bad for Vidvir there. Again, don't know if that ended up in the stewards, but that's, again, really unfortunate. So we'll quickly go down through the grid here. We got Cunning, G-Dan still, Gunmad. So the FT1s having a blast right now. Ruffles in P4. Jordy hanging around in P5. Amy having a great race, P6. JMS doing great. Pyro P8 having a good time. Otto P9. O'Leary P10. Seacuch 11. Oscar 12. He's fallen off the back of that pack now with a 22.6. So, yeah, Otto must have had a small moment as he had a 23 last lap. So, a little bit of Tokyo Drift around there for you.
I like it. Can we go up to Amy real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, look at Amy and who's the other Lexus in this tier? I think a few spots below.
Otto.
Let's look at their fuel usage compared to everybody else. They've got a good 15 to 20% more.
Yeah, the Lexus is known for its tank, right? That's one of its hugest advantage, you know. So
yeah,
that'll definitely play into factor in the pit stop here.
How close is Amy to the driver in front of her? Jordy, very close.
Yeah.
And the Supra, well, the Supra is one you short shift on, so it may not be the worst disparity, but you know, a difference of 10%. If you both fuel to the same amount, that's enough to jump.
Yeah, or at least even put you in better slip range.
Yeah.
But
so
again, that Supra is almost untouchable even with slip.
Yeah,
it is very hard.
Quick.
Especially with the murmurs of the slip being reduced.
Man, that gravel, it's just... You can't look at it the wrong way sometimes. Cunningford seems to be okay with it.
Might have a little bit of a battle there. Let's stick with this one for a sec.
Ooh.
Again, the ARC's vision must have been insane through this sector as we see it continuously closing gaps on cars. A little bit of a moment from O'Leary here, but let's now see the straight line speed of this Jag. And will he move left here? Oh, now he's stuck in the middle. Yeah, and again.
Here we go.
Just understanding. I understand why some of them aren't protecting the inside, but why we're not seeing a little bit of bump drafting is just, again.
Yeah, especially at this point. I mean, if you look at the map above them, they're all fairly close, but that's still a second and a half gap to
we're talking
substantial
2 or 3
points.
tenths, right? You bump draft all the way down the straight, you guys might gain 2-3 tenths on the car in front.
Especially on these laps where you're on lower fuel, it can make a difference.
Yeah. And let's not forget, bump drafting the person in front, as long as you don't hit them too close to the braking zone to try and throw off their, their braking point, it's a viable move. It's a viable move to try and get them off their braking point and get them out of their comfortable zone. Oscar, a little bit of a moment there. Jeez. A little bit of
I have a lot of good personal experience with the Mazda here. It looks like Seacuch might be a little too hungry on the fuel. Yeah, I know that if you shift, you can short shift in the Mazda and still get good power band out of it. Revving it may not be the thing to do with such high RPMs.
And it looks like I caught something in the background here.
Ooh.
Oh, Larry
that's on his
dips
own.
a tire in the grass.
That's completely
bad luck
on his
for
own.
Larry there.
And that, man, there's a fair bit of tarmac runoff there that if you brake too late, it's not the end of the world, but that corner being right before the straight, that means a lot of, speed difference down into turn 1.
It's weird saying in Tier 4 have some Tier 6 times. Skittles just loving this right now. Skittles promotion incoming. So I think the grid's fairly spread right now. Everybody is kind of doing their own laps. So we are now entering the pit window for those people who are very good on tires.
Ooh,
so
Steelfan. Who was it? Jezza? Jezza looked like he had some good tires. No, it was G-Dan. Oh, G-Dan got by Cunningford. What happened? I think we missed something.
Yeah, we definitely missed a change in the lead. Here in the 90 degree, let's go on board. Oh no!
Oh, it just goes off.
On board with Cunningford here, let's take a look.
The right front just gave out. Understeered right off.
Gets on the brakes in time. Oh, a little bit too much speed. A little bit too much speed through the corner. looks like he was going about 108 through there. I think he needed to bleed off like almost another 10 to take that.
Yeah, you want to start braking. Well, here, if you have the headwind down on the main straight, you've got to remember that coming down the kind of back straight here into the right-hander, you have a tailwind, so you will be moving faster. So you've got to anticipate that.
So that brings Cunning into the slipstream range of Gunmad, as Gdan now has an opportunity to put massive distance.
Oh, look, he already is. That's...
Oh, oh no!
Overexcited. He's not...
No. This hurts to watch.
That seemed like one of those cases of you can't look at the driver in front of you. You got to race your own race.
Yeah, I think Gunmad here gets a little bit excited. Look at his throttle. Full throttle.
Yep.
Little bit too early with the steering input, and he just goes round.
Super right there. He's fresh meat. Yep. There's one.
And Jordy
the other one. There's two.
Up into P3, Amy into P4. 2 positions lost from that. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Cunning Firm, blessing in disguise, as he now has some breathing room. But the
and P2
Supra,
is not an insignificant amount of points.
No, not at all. But now the Supra bearing down on Cunning Firm.
It's about equal tires, but Amy, better tires, better fuel. Than the Supra, still holding pace.
Oh yeah. Amy doing a great job here. Staying out of trouble, racing her race, and just... she really hasn't had to have that many overtakes.
No.
People are just making mistakes, and she isn't. Ruffles at some point must have had a moment, because he was up above them. So we missed that one on lap 14. You can see it at 25.
Is Amy going to go for it down into the right-hander? Oh, she is. Oh, just barely
we'll rewind
pushed
that. We'll go on board here.
Patience, Amy, patience. You're in the pit window.
Especially on these laps here. So Amy doesn't really do anything too crazy. Jordy just goes defensive.
Yep. Yeah, you can't really switch back here because of that bump. You can't get on the throttle early, so...
I don't even know Amy's really trying to make a move there. I think Jordy goes precautionary, defensively, precautionarily. Well, words are hard.
Yeah, I think it'd be best here for her to just be patient. You're going to jump him in the sprint, or in the pits. You know that you probably have better fuel than him, probably have better tires. Oh, Jordy almost goes into the pits. A little dummy.
Oh, Jordy.
Pit wall.
Oh, Jordy, what are we doing?
Weaving.
Jordy, what are we doing? Let's,
How many was that? You're gonna have to refresh my memory on the weaving on the straight rule.
Yeah, so he gets his line out of the corner. He can make one move. Right, one move. So now he moves to the right. This is his move up on exit of the corner. Now he's made a second move. If he doesn't move again, it would be okay. Now he's made a third move.
Third is too much.
And now, yeah, I think that's one move too many. Again, that would have to be for the stewards.
Now, if he was only made that second move, so he cut across to the outside part of the track, and cut back to the inside. Once he approaches that braking zone, is he allowed to resume the racing line, or would that count as a third move?
So basically, this first move, like him to the left, that's his corner exit. He can make one move from there.
There's one.
So he goes to the right, and I believe the rule is now this is his line until he sets his line for the corner. So this move to the left is technically him saying, I'm on the inside line for the corner. By him moving back outside early now, I don't know if that's legal.
Even if he was closer to the corner, if he committed to the inside, he can't resume that racing line.
Exactly. So I think that's one move too many. Again, stewards will have a look at it. They're smarter than I am. So, but to me, that looks like weaving. Sorry, Jordy. Don't think you can do that many moves down the straight. And it was clear you were doing them to try and break the toe. Oh!
And it seemed to work a little bit, too. Ooh, pyro.
So if there's someone in the chat who knows the weaving rule better than I do, looked like he was just trying to break the toe. Yes, Andrew, that is exactly what weaving is. So if he's trying to break the toe, that's a penalty. What lap was that? Lap
16.
lap 16.
Or 15, I suppose.
Yeah,
15
15
into 16.
16. So here we got Pyro.
Oh, wait a minute. That might have
Ruffles.
not been Pyro's fault.
Uh,
Looked like JMS slowed down a little bit more than Ruffles expected and backed Ruffles up into Pyro.
yeah, just a BMW sandwich here. I don't think there's an incident here, to
Yep.
be honest.
Nope. Ruffles catches a little
No.
grass, slows down more than he was expecting.
It's the next corner where there's
Oh, you're right.
JMS,
Oh,
after
he's
dipping
gonna
his
drift.
tires in, has lost
That's
his
it.
momentum. Ruffles gets the easy position. Ruffles goes defensive. Pyro makes it 3 wide against his teammate.
Ballsy.
Russell. Jesus, Ruffles gets a little bit of oversteer, and again, Pyro going around the outs. This isn't going to work, Pyro. Oh my god, it worked.
I think he just scared Ruffles out of it.
I did not think Pyro was going to get that done along the outside. Let's go here with Ruffles. Struggling to hold on to the tires.
Yep, I think he's just doing his
Oh, he's
best
just
to,
full throttle,
Yeah.
sliding around. So good move by Pyro around the outside. That is a crazy corner to try and do a move like that. Let's see if JMS goes for it now.
Ooh, deep. Very deep. Too deep.
Yeah, JMS gets a little excited and just goes a little too deep.
Also,
And
you gotta be careful. You can't.
yeah, a
rejoin
little
like
bit
that.
more careful with the rejoin. Again, probably saved by the ghosting.
At least on the first one, but Oscar may have suffered from that one.
I mean, Oscar probably clearly has to divert his line here.
Yeah, you
Otto
need to be...
probably scared the crap out of him. And then Oscar, again, to avoid JMS, who's now unghosted, and they're moving at relatively similar speeds, dips a tire and loses ever so slightly some momentum. So again, that's frustrating for Oscar. Got to try and rejoin safer if we can.
It almost
I
makes
know.
me want to be one of those proponents for no ghosting, so that at least we don't have an expectation of someone being ghosted. You're going to anticipate them not still being there.
I mean, everyone knows I'm a no ghosting fan for that exact reason.
I'm
Let's
starting
go.
to
Let's
agree.
go and check. I want to see if Jordy does anything different onto the straight this time. Great from Amy there. You see her lifting early, not leaving more of a gap than probably needed. So Jordy's right planted in the middle. He still gets his move. There's his 1.
Mm-hmm.
2. He's stuck on the inside. I don't know if he can
He
move
sticks
back
to
right
it.
now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I say he
That's
sticks to
fine
it.
there.
We do have a comment seeming to clarify the towing from Lord Hands. Thank you very much. It says if the gap between drivers is less than half a second, any, quote, breaking the tow is not permitted and will be classed as weaving on the straight. So it looks like he would have to be within half a second for it to count as a steward's offense.
So you are allowed to make your move out of the corner and then make your move for the corner. Like you get 2 moves on the straight. Even if that's breaking the toe.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a 3rd move, then that becomes weaving because you're allowed
As
to
long
pick
as
your
you're
line
within
out of the
half a
corner.
second.
So you're allowed to pick your line out of the corner and then pick your entry to the next corner. So.
But I suppose if he's outside of that half-second range, you can. It seems like the rules,
No,
assuming that Lord Hands was
weaving.
reading from our rule book. I'd have to see a little bit more clarification on that, if that's from our rule book or just the general definition.
Regardless if it's a half second or a second, that's weaving in my eyes. Purposely trying to break the toe from Amy, but it's not going to matter because Amy's going to make a nice move here and get around Jordy.
Looks like Lord
As
Hands
the
just
super
decided
tires are. And no one's pit yet.
13.9. Really?
Oh wait,
Lap
no.
16. No pit.
Okay, I missed that.
Oh,
The
yeah, you
RX
did.
Vision's pit, so I missed their pit stops. They go in
Both of them
probably the
pit?
lap before. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like some of them are just riding out the fuel tank right down to the very end. I don't know if that's beneficial. The mediums are not faster than worn softs here.
And Amy's just going to drive away from the super here into the straight as her tires are way better. But I'm assuming if we don't see all of the drivers come in this lap, I think they have messed up their strategy. Most of these cars should be able to bring the softs the rest of the way. This was my pit window for the Viper. G-Dan comes into the pits. 6% fuel. Cunning's going to do one more. So he's going for the
enough
overcut.
fuel to get around, though.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Hopefully.
Amy is going to stay out. Again, I think Amy, with your tire wear on the mediums, you probably could have pit. a lap earlier. Stretch those softs, baby.
Yeah, little bit of an undercut.
So Jordy comes in. He doesn't have enough fuel for a lap, and his
No,
tires are gone. Pyro, 10% fuel. All right, Pyro.
that's enough of a jump over Jordy at least.
So
Let's see if they
Oscar's in.
can both
His
come out at the same
tires are
time.
completely red. Otto going for another lap with a completely dead front. Otto, pit, my man. If your mediums are dead,
And look at how much
pit.
fuel he has too. He's got almost a quarter tank.
You're doing
That
a
would have been enough for a lot.
24.9 and a 24.4 on that dead right front medium. Pit and drive on a dead soft before
It's
you drive
time.
on a dead medium. So we'll see where the RX Visions slot in here. They'll probably get a lot of overtakes. Don't know where they were slotted pre-pit, but it looks like Pyro's going to come out in front. Ruffles going to come out in front. Or, sorry, Ruffles is going to be behind and Oscar's going to be behind.
It looks like the Mazdas might have made the right call pitting earlier than their opponents.
No doubt the undercut is always extremely, extremely powerful.
And especially on a track like this where it's hard to overtake, even if you've got, worse tires than your opponents towards the end, if you can just sit in front of them, like Jezza seems to be doing here with JMS, then if they can't get by you, they can't get by you. It doesn't matter if they have fresher tires or not.
Well, I think, oh, he goes a little bit wide. I think, like you said,
Zero
getting the
fuel
track
coming
position,
in.
yeah, cutting. Let's see if he died on fuel real quick. We'll join that battle. He barely makes it. He dies
Oh
right
my
at the pit
gosh.
entrance.
With feet left.
Yeah. So
And he's
G-Dan,
still, there she goes.
how did he cut pit on exit?
For 3 seconds, he must have.
Yeah.
But this one, it just feel like it kind of puts you back out straight onto the track. Or maybe he cut it coming in. He's already
Yeah,
red.
maybe cutting in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Solid white line.
Oh, no, G-Dan. Oh, that's the worst. From
Bit of a late
P1.
move for the pit, especially here. You can just kind of line it up from the exit and just full speed right in.
That's tough. That's bad luck. So he gets 3 seconds. So I think the closest on-track battle. Ooh,
Oh, he's gonna get that done.
yeah, easy peasy. I think we were already with this battle because I think he goes wide the next turn.
The assist lighting up like a Christmas tree there for him too. Make sure the car holds on. Now
he goes wide.
I don't necessarily shame traction control here, especially because of how fast your tires go off. Sometimes turning it on can improve your tire life by critically 1 to 2 laps, which could make the difference.
So again, lots of fighting. Yellow flag.
Uh-oh.
Kelly
Jags.
on the dead mediums. What's happened?
Breaks a bit late.
Pyro.
No.
Pyro on fresh softs behind a driver on totally dead mediums.
He does break in time, but
It's so
I think-
unfortunate because Kelly can't get back on the power because of his dead mediums. Pyro is carrying so much speed, and it's just the worst luck for Pyro.
no, I think had Kelly been on softs or like at least a similar level of tire deg, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you got a guy on fresh softs and a guy on mediums that are dead.
He
Obviously,
understeers through the corner, can't get the power down. Yeah, he's still half throttle there.
yeah.
And even
but-
though Pyro was off the throttle, he could carry more grip.
That's just tough luck for Pyro. He's coming up
Wouldn't be
to
surprised if
a
we saw that
car.
in the stewards either.
Yeah, that'll will 100% be in the stewards as SJK gets killed for the second time in this race. Oh, no
Oh.
insult to injury. Oh,
Something similar happened to me in our race, right around the same area. It's just here, there's so many mid-speed corners. If your tires get dirty, you have to practically crawl through this last sector.
and Vidveer and S. Kelly are just down bad right now. But
This would be the time to pit.
let's
Lick
come
your
back
wounds.
through the top. Amy
Told you,
attacking,
she jumps some.
cutting.
P6 to P4.
Yeah, look at her go. She is putting on a great race right now.
I like this Lexus livery too.
Logitech, baby.
a lot of white cars this season, so the gray, it's a nice little contrast.
Yeah, Perry. A lot of white cars this season.
They were requested. I make requests.
I didn't request a white car. Come on now. Jordy P5. Seacoach now coming at Pyro. The
finally gun Matt in. That might be the last of them, is it?
Yeah, I think that is the last car to pit, other than SJK. Who still has to drive around the track after dying. Now, this was the Mazda's best section. We'll see how it is against the BMW. Pyro, great speed on the exit.
Now, I'd love to do a little bit of any kind of analysis into this. I don't know how though, because PD's pretty strict about it. But some people have been talking about how different cars leave different turbulence behind them. I know the GTR is one, but the M6 is also pretty blocky, so it might have hurt the Mazda through that last sector a little bit. Ooh, a little bit of gravel. He holds it.
Pyro making his car wide as hell.
It's got a warning label on the back there.
Yeah, prone to
Should
spinning.
be on the front. I'm surprised he holds this.
Yeah, I mean, dipping 2 tires there is just a...
Without losing anything significantly, I'm surprised he held that.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. It might almost be worse if you only dip 1 tire than if you dip 2, because you've got that traction difference. And Oscar is flashing.
Oscar. That's what I call the Oscar special. Whenever Oscar gets near you on track, you start getting the flashies. That's a signature move from all the way back from S8.
Still, man, I'm wondering if he's on controller or something and just has the lights and the upshift tapped to the same button.
No, it's lights and gas. Every time he hits the throttle, the lights flash.
Most people use rubber bands to grind. He uses the lights.
So now, we're coming into what I always call a pass or be passed situation. As Pyro is on the back of Gunmat, who is probably got more pace. And Seacoach is right on the back of them. So if Pyro doesn't overtake Gunmat, he's going to get overtaken by Seacoach. Or Pyro will do a half spin and get overtaken anyways. We'll see.
In this track, again, it's so hard to overtake. If you're behind someone that just over 1 lap is slower than you, that really hurts your pace and that really makes you vulnerable.
Sorry I'm not doing much cinematic camera, but when you're jumping around all over the place trying to get a good view of everything, it's harder to... it's a hard track to keep around with everyone.
We seem like we have a little bit of a cluster of cars up ahead if you want to jump up a little bit.
Again, Amy has got by Cunning now, so we missed that. Go on board with Amy.
90. The traction seems about the same. Does he go wide? Oh, just a half spin.
A little bit of oversteer, loses, but has the inside.
Goes wide.
Amy with a cutback, and then she's got it.
And that's a great exit.
Yeah.
A little bit of a bump draft, but it seems like Cunningford is willing to play ball here and go for the... Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's the
Cunningford
right
saying,
move.
let's chase down G-Dan. This is the second time or third time we've given props to Cunning.
The racecraft, it's there. And
Just
let's see,
doing
so
all
Amy,
the right things. Just doing all the right things here. It's
where
lap
the
21.
other Lexus and the AMG, they're not around, so it might be the right move here to have a temporary alliance and try and reel in G-Dan.
It's lap 21. You have a Supra on your butt. If he gets into your slip from battling, both of you are toast. Because he will fly by you on the straight. So, play ball. Go after the leader. Let's go. Love to see it.
I like it.
And right now, G-Dan's going, I hope they fight. Because if they fight, he drives away to a win.
And the FT1 being the Batmobile cousin of the Supra, it's no slack on the straights, but as fast as that may be, I don't think it can outrun a bump draft.
No. Not many cars that can. And we have a battle here for P5, P6, P7, P8. And then there's a huge gap here to the next group.
Yep.
And these are the guys that have been battered and bruised all race.
Man.
So
yeah.
I think we're gonna try and stick here with these
Maybe
top
turn the
8
pause
for a
menu
little bit.
moment. Maybe she's got those hazards on. Could just be a finger slip that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, sometimes the hazards go on. It is what it is. She's driving too quick for it to be.
Yeah,
awesome.
no, yeah, she would have been down to 5th by now if it was pause.
We'll go on board here, because I think things are gonna spice up here. Ooh, Pyro.
Respectful, he gets through. Okay, yeah, that was great.
No, this is great. Great defending from
great
Gunmad.
move it here,
Perfect
too.
positioning.
With Oscar on the
But
outside.
like I said, it's a pass or be pass situation.
Yep.
Oh my God! Look at this from Oscar.
Man.
So Oscar just gets to take the optimal line. Seacoach is slowed down by the cars in front battling. Oscar takes the optimal line, and the BRZ, we all know, takes insane speed through the corners. Pyro doesn't close the door in time.
No.
Oh my, that's
There's a lot of
a
fish
crazy
going on.
good move. That is
Yeah,
a crazy
2
good
and
move
1.
from Oscar.
Good job. And you know, a lot of that I was the victim of that in our own tier here. I was too focused on, got tunnel vision fighting those in front of us as the 2 behind him seemed to have some synchronized dancing moves.
And Pyro starts to unravel here.
This is what I was talking about earlier. Just one mistake breeds another mistake, breeds another, and you're in your head.
In a lapse of 10 to 15 seconds, Pyro has went from challenging for P5 to P8. And that's unfortunate for Pyro.
The thing about it as well with how Oscar made this excellent double overtake is, oh man, yeah, he's going to have bad traction out of here with a little bit of the grass touch. But the camera as well, the camera that you're using can massively affect how aware you are. Because I know most people, myself included, use the hood cam, a little bit of weaving, but you don't have that rear view on the hood cam, so you're very vulnerable to somebody just making a surprise move you weren't expecting.
Yeah, I don't even know that Pyro knows Oscar swung around there because Pyro doesn't use radar. So I think by the time Pyro realized, his pants were already pulled down.
2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, that's too much. That's too much.
Yeah, another one. Guys, what are we doing here? One more time.
It's the Toyotas, man.
So, Gunmad, on exit, he can pick one line on his exit. He's picked and stayed left. He can move.
One move.
There we go, there's one. A second move back to inside.
Then a little wiggle here.
Yeah, no.
It's all over the track.
Again, stewards will clarify this, but that to me, I don't like that.
No, but I do like the number plate on the back of the BRZ. I've just noticed.
Lord Hand says he's making wicker furniture. He's weaving.
Basket weaving.
Lord Hands, that wins comment of the day. Lord Hands gets the comment of the day. I think that's 2 weeks in a row. And again, BRZ through these banked corners are insane.
And the temptation here on this right-hander to just dive down the inside, you got to be mindful that the guy in front of you is likely going to accelerate, but something may have happened here between Seacoach and Oscar.
No, I think Seacoach puts himself off, but I wanted to see Gunmad's defending here. Gunmad takes the preferred line, puts his car right in the middle.
Okay.
I mean, just great defending. Oscar got nowhere to go. Oscar's trying to force his car through. I think Seacoach just gets spooked there.
Yep, just distracted by the fight in front of him.
Yeah. We'll quickly take a look through the back of the pack, but then we're going to rejoin some more fighting up front. Again, not too much there. S. Kelly just
not
having a good time.
This is
Him
one to
and
forget.
Vidveer both, unfortunately, at the back of the grid here.
Definitely a day to forget for both of them.
Yeah. And maybe not even at the hands of their own, right? Some of the things just out of their control.
Yeah.
But look at this.
Amy, they've closed up.
They have closed. GDAN must have had a moment.
Is Cunningford still playing ball with Amy, it looks like? Not terrible. Still pretty business as normal. Bit of a late breakthrough there. And I know that FT1, it is not one to shy away from throwing its rear end out, so you can't really get on the throttle as early as more stable cars through there. So any overshoot is not what you want to have. It is a car that definitely demands respect on the throttle.
So I think just on pace, Amy has left Cunning in the dust a little bit here. She's just going after GDAN. We're lap 24. And now
Yep,
Cunning.
only about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end here. Let's see how many laps this ends up being.
He's not out of touch with Amy. He's definitely close enough to get her slip.
Coming around here again, we'll see. Is Gunmad gonna stay put right in the middle?
So far, so good.
He's not feeling the pressure this time.
2, 3. It's one move too many for me.
Yeah, I don't understand it again.
And you're not really in threat of
that one isn't as bad to me as the last one.
No, it's not as bad. But the BR's, ooh, a little push through the. Nope.
Oh my God,
no,
Oscar.
No. You keep. That's
Oscar.
Impatience.
Okay. Oscar,
That's
this is bad. This is bad, brother.
That too, pushing Pyro wide.
I don't think there's contact with Pyro there. I think that's fine.
There wasn't.
But this, after multiple incidents in the same race, you bump him there, you have a chance to let him stay in front, and you double down. And you know you've done something wrong because I've seen you hesitate on the throttle.
Yep.
So you bump him deep. You finish him off. You know you've done wrong. You let off on the throttle. And then you say, nah, fuck it.
Something looked off with this interaction with Pyro too. No, he was just trying to come back to the racing line, but that is just pure impatience. Just someone thinking, I'm faster, I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah, and to spin someone like that, Gunmad's now P14.
Where was he prior to the spin? P5. Oh man, those are important points.
There's nothing more infuriating than this happening on lap 24 when you've spent 32 minutes.
We've only got 8 laps left. We're just trying to bring it home.
It hurts to watch, man. It hurts to watch. And then insult to injury, as you now have to watch Oscar drive off into the distance.
With your spot.
Oscar, this is nothing personal, man, but like, we all have to be better.
Yep,
we have to be better.
Has been pretty rampant across the league the past couple days, the past weekend. It's just impatience. Especially on a track like this, like half of racing, it is the whole Ayrton Senna mentality of if there's a gap, go for it. But racing is not checkers. It's not a boxing match. It's chess. It's you set up a move a couple corners prior, you show inside a little bit more, make him brake late. That fucks up his line. And then it's a back and forth. You don't just get to brute force it. Opportunities happen, but they're not that common.
Don't get me wrong. I love some crazy moves, but if you go like you're allowed to make mistakes. If you make a crazy move and you fail, you gotta go, yeah, in the moment. Don't wait till after the race. If you know, like 100%, you're at fault. And when I say 100%, I mean like you hit someone in the back and they spin like A equals B. Just wait, man. Just wait. It's the right thing to do. I know it's hard.
And he's flashing Pyro like crazy.
Yeah, it's the throttle and the lights button mapped together.
It's very funny.
Perry preaching. Lord Heads gassing us up.
No, I can say this because I used to be you know, a couple seasons ago, I was very impatient. I was in a tier probably too low for how fast I was, and I was guilty of being a little too physical because I was impatient. You know, I saw the number going down. Might have to rewind and look
Yeah, I'm
at
gonna
that.
rewind that. I just want to see the end of that.
Yeah.
Again, a lot to unpack on this one. So, Oscar,
Not significantly enough alongside. You need those axles to line up.
no.
That's just a
Well, he
there.
gets
Well,
alongside,
there.
but
But that could just be deciding to not lift and just sticking your
here's my
nose in.
issue. Here's my issue with this one. You're going for a gap that is closing. You know
Yeah,
what the
you know
racing
he's
line
going for
is.
it.
And this is the danger of these, what I call half moves. When, like, Oscar, where are you going? You're not going to hold a tight enough apex here.
No. And there's not
The gap
enough
is
real
closing
grip
on
for
you.
Pyro on the outside.
For self-preservation, you've now pushed Pyro wide. You've gone off track, you've pushed him wide. And yes, counter argument, maybe you can say to Pyro here, don't turn in. But it's cause and effect, man. Like, you... no. You gotta see the angle of Pyro's car. He's ahead before the point of contact, I think. And like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not a steward. This could be completely wrong takes, but I'm just seeing it kind of how I'm seeing it.
And had it
You
had
gotta
been
back out.
more of a like a distinct braking zone and stuff like that, maybe this would have been a little bit different. But on a corner where you really just lift and wait for your car to regain that traction, going wide here is not an option for Pyro.
The only reason you get alongside is because you send it into this space that's closing.
He should
You're
be
full
lifting by
throttle.
then. Yeah.
Pyro's already lifted and started to turn in, and you just go for a gap that is going to close. You know where the apex of the corner is.
If Pyro wasn't there, I don't think he's making that corner.
If Pyro's not there, I mean, he's taking the optimal racing line. But,
No, it looks
Oscar,
like
you're
he was
coming
too
onto a
shallow.
straight. Why don't you line up a move for the straight? Because now you... I don't know, man. And it may not be a penalty, but to me it rubs me the wrong way because you've just pushed Pyro aside, essentially. You've shoved your nose into the corner, and you've just pushed him wide.
I would say it's more of that impatience. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if he knows his car, he knows it can't really compete as you're seeing here, but I mean, he still has the inside. He can't compete with the BMW in a straight line. So it might be, I need to be in front of him for this straight, no matter what.
Yeah, like I said, we're not stewards. All I have is the racing knowledge I have from racing.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've been wrong
Ruffles.
before.
Look at his fuel. He's not making the end of this race.
Yeah, Ruffles maybe has underfueled a little bit here, and he's on mediums again.
He
I
still
don't
has
think
5 laps to go. He's not.
I don't know if he used 2 tire compounds. I think he started the race. He did start the race on mediums. So
But,
Ruffles,
that's
my guy.
common to see people, especially if they're new to the league, to have them mess up on a tire thing. But everyone makes that mistake once and hopefully does not repeat. As Amy's closing in on G-Dan a lot.
Yeah, Amy closing in on G-Dan. She's now in the slip ever so slightly. I do want to revisit the Oscar Perry situation. G-Dan
Oscar
pulling away
who?
on the straight, though. Or not Oscar Perry. Oscar Pyro. Oh, Pyro. Have we had a moment? So Pyro gets overtaken by Seakuch, who now from the fighting between these two has friggin' just reeled them both right back in.
Pass or be passed.
Yeah.
So far clean. This was a little shaky on the exit. No.
Pyro. Oh,
See, that's what I mean. That's
just-
what I meant. Oscar
Yeah.
took that same line. He would not have made that corner just like Pyro did.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Perry. 100%. Because Pyro kind of just cut in too early. Just cut in too early, and then, yeah, you have to turn in later than you think on that corner. It is a deceptive corner. But I think the best battle on track at this point, we have the battle for P5. Auto and Pyro might get into a little shindig.
I think the battle for
Ruffles
P1
has to pit.
it's still on.
So the battle for P1 is on.
What was there?
And we have some blue flags ahead.
Oh.
As this could get spicy.
Let's see if the two cars in front actually get out of the way, because if not,
they are
bad news
entitled
for
to
GD.
battle because they're battling for a point, but they do have to give way. And I think in this situation, you have to just give way to P1 and P2 here. Oh, this is going to get crazy. There's 2 or 3 laps left here.
How's the tire and fuel comparison between Amy and G-Dan?
Amy leading on fuel, tires about the same. Or G-Dan has more fuel, sorry, rather.
Yeah, but
this is
going to work in the Lexus's favor, because the Lexus is not super thirsty on its fuel, and she has better rear tires. That might mean better exits for her.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no, she's reeling in.
Yeah, spacing all throughout the grid. There's not really much going on track, so we're just going to stick with this battle here. We'll rewind that.
Kelly dives out of the way.
we'll rewind that just to see what happens here. They go side by side. Vidvir protecting inside nicely. They go side by side. Vidvir gives him lots of space on the exit. Vidvir still racing cleanly despite his race being ruined. Great racing between these two here. SJK tries to sneak down the inside, gets a little on the curb, says, I'm moving over.
You know, if that curb was not one of those sausage curbs where it can kind of hook that tire, they may have gotten away with that. If it was more of a flat curb.
SJK says, screw it, I'm letting everyone by.
Yep.
Fair enough.
It's not worth
Vidvir towing the leader down the straight. Oh my god.
That could.
Yeah. So look how close Amy is going into this corner. G-Dan maybe gets a little bit better exit, plus the slip of the Beetle. That's easily a 10th or 2 gained. And let's see how he fares here. Oh, Vidvir!
Vidvir's slowing him up. Vidvir's slowing him down.
Oh no!
All that lost.
Oh man!
Oh, this is... Oh my gosh.
So that right there brings them right back in the loop. Reels back into Amy, but now G-Dan again is going to have the slip down the straight. Oh my goodness.
Amy's saying in the chat that this fight continues to the last lap, so, which I'm not like surprised to see at all, because Vidvir is still in front of him. He's not getting out of his way.
Oh my goodness, Vidvir.
I mean, even if you're still, like, quote-unquote on pace, you know, if you break into a braking zone, the guy behind you has to brake earlier, so if you're on pace, it doesn't really matter. You're still in front of him.
Oh, whoa. Just some lag there. That was almost very freaky.
Oh my gosh. I would have been for
I think if I'm Vidvir here, knowing that this is the leader behind me. Oh no, Vidvir's in VR.
Oh, he doesn't know?
I think Vidvir's in VR, so he can't see that this is P1 behind him. He has no clue. He knows he's in P15, but he doesn't know who's behind him. I mean, you have to assume it's the leader.
I mean, are there no, like, blue flag HUD pop-up? Or
there is. I think he would know he's getting blue flagged, but, like, there is a pop-up. Oh my goodness, Vidvir.
Vidvir. Do you think he knows now that he's in the lead fight? As he sees G-Dan go by with that little one above him?
I think he just realized as he tucks in behind Amy.
I think he did. But that doesn't matter now, because now Amy's right on his tail.
Yeah, now Amy's glued to the back of G-Dan. Oh my goodness. So that definitely... Oh, Vidvir, my... And look how close... Oh, cutting's still out of range a little bit. I'm going to quickly take a scroll through. I'm going to pause it, though, so we don't miss any action. See if there's anything else going on. No, nothing.
So
we're glued with this.
Yep.
We're glued with this. They're going to make the final lap 30. I think only the top 3 will. Jordy might. It'll be close.
Oh, man. G-Dan is committed to that inside line. Maybe pushing Amy just a little bit. It's okay to do that defensively. As long as you're alongside, but, you know, like we said, you have a limited number of moves. Side by side through the first turn.
Side by side, leaves the space. Great racing through turn 1.
G-Dan G-Dan has to compromise a little bit of speed on the exit just to not go off on these spent soft tires.
And Amy says, no, I don't want to make my move here. I'm going to wait. She could have sent it down the inside.
That might have been the right move. I think so.
Amy might know she might have a better chance on the last straight if she can set it up. G-Dan has been better than her in that corner all race in that banking. So we'll see how she fares here in the uphill.
And this is part of the chess move that I was talking about. You need to watch the driver in front of you, see where they're slower than you, wait for that opportunity.
She's pulled right back up on the back. She knew she was faster through this sector. Oh,
she needs to leave it late, otherwise G-Dan might have a better exit out of this
yeah,
last
she
corner.
needs to give herself a little bit of space so she can get a run out of this corner.
Oh my gosh,
no,
is she
she
gonna get
brakes.
it?
She loses a little bit of her momentum because she's on the brakes.
But
This is going to come right to the line. Is she going to be able to get alongside?
It's not enough.
She runs out of time. G-Dan.
By hundreds of seconds.
What
so close.
A finish. What a finish between these two. A very clean last lap battle.
Man.
Let's go on board here to the line.
G-Dan held that last corner perfectly.
Just the beans couldn't get there.
Both perfect on the fuel. Both of them perfect on the fuel calculation.
Cunningham, P3. Jordy, P4. Oscar, he's going to finish in P5. That's, of course, going to be pre-stewards. I lost count of who had what penalties, potentially. But let's see.
Oh, Pyro dropped down.
Oscar P5, JMS, he's P7, Otto P8, O'Leary P9, Jezza P10, Gunmad P11, Pyro, a 134.7 on the last lap.
Yeah, I could have sworn he was closer to P5. What's going wrong here? Oh, it goes off there. Oh, it's the spin. It's the spin. That's the right thing.
And that's why we have that warning label on the back spoiler.
Yep.
For that exact reason. And Pyro is just a defeated man at this point. Engine damage, front damage.
Oh, no. Yeah. That is... Look, full throttle, and the RPMs are stuttering to get there. And that's going to last for at least another 10 seconds.
Just unfortunate final lap for Pyro.
He's a sitting duck.
Yeah.
Yep. It seems like he regains the engine
he doesn't
power
even go
right
defensive.
there, but
He doesn't even
it's
care.
not enough.
He's
not
Pyro's
enough.
checked out. He said no. Oh, he switched back. Oh no!
Was there a tap there?
I think there might have been. A tap.
Hold on. Watch his engine, because he may have just regained that. Yeah, okay,
no,
so
his engine's already good here.
Yeah. Steel fan kind of went a little deep. Yeah. Another contact there for Pyro.
Oh.
That corner was not. Oop. Well, it's fine. He murdered the guy behind him, so.
Oh, Steel. So, Tier 4 feature race. Congrats to G-Dan. Congrats to Amy. Congrats to
Great
Cunning.
racing.
Your top 3. Yeah, some great racing from those guys. I think it's going to be interesting to see the stewards.
They're going to be busy.
Busy stewards.
Wait, hold on. Did Ruffles switch on to softs?
Yeah, Ruffles went
okay,
on to
he
the
did.
softs, so he did a 2-stop. So that was a planned 2-stop.
Can't
But
really
yeah,
do
that's
that
going to
on
be
a
it.
lot of tracks here.
So
Do we have any tracks on the upcoming calendar that could be potentially a 2-stop?
I haven't looked that far ahead. That's way too much. I barely know what I'm going to do next week.
Let's see. Next week we've got Dragon Trail, Seaside Reverse. That should be a fun with the Death Chicane. Pretty widely known throughout Gran Turismo. Catalunya, high on tire wear, but it's at night. Might change things a little bit. Le Mans, I know you're looking forward to that one yourself.
Yeah,
Kyoto,
well, I have no. Yeah,
then
we got
Blue
some
Moon.
crazy tracks coming up.
Definitely
So.
unique ones.
Thanks to everyone who joined in the comments. G Dan, Hart couldn't handle it anymore. Vidvir guy almost ruined my race. Yeah, Lord Hans is saying if VR is causing your awareness to be that bad, don't use it. I think there is something to be said with the blue flag there, especially with that potentially affecting the outcome. Obviously, it didn't. Could have, and it
I'd say
shouldn't.
it did,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'd say it did affect the fight, but G-Dan still held on.
Now, what
Uh,
about the standings? Let's give a quick rundown of that before we wrap this up.
yeah, let's take a quick look. I'll pop open the standings for the first time. Where's your tier 4? Here it is, pre-stewards, because that could change a lot. So, Seacoach with a P2 and a P6 gets his total up to 88 points.
Close to
Jordy
P2.
with a P5 and a P4. Great day for him. A sneaky day from Jordy.
Yes.
Don't know if he's in the stewards for the weaving. We'll see about that.
He's only 5 off the lead, though.
5 off the lead. So Oscar with a P1 and a P5. That P5 is subject to change. He's at 69 points.
Nice.
Um, JMS, he's 61 points, and Pyro's at 55. So
Both
there's your
still in the
top
top
five.
5.
The
Hey,
BMW M6
BMWs?
though,
Yep.
116 points
Ooh, to
to
115
Mazda's
by the Mazda.
at 115. Yep. So we
I like
have a
this.
fight coming in for constructors, and I think right now a little bit of a two horse race for the championship between Seacoach and Jordy with the penalties incoming to Oscar.
Hmm.
Jay, don't count JMS and Pyro out of it, and
No,
even Mr. Obvious and Theo, but they have a lot of ground to make up. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna sign off here. Take it
I
easy.
had a lot of fun doing my first one. This was a great time.
Yeah, a great time. Thanks for joining me, Perry. And I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining. Take it easy.